Hi, Mark, and welcome to the current Outside Views report on Russia's war of aggression against Ukraine. According to a data analysis by independent Russian media, at least 47,000 Russian soldiers have already been killed in Russia's war of aggression against Ukraine. That would be 3 times as many as in the Soviet war in Afghanistan from 1979 to 1989. The analysis is based on the number of inheritance cases opened and the statistics on excess mortality in Russia last year that was reported by the Meduza Internet portal involved in the evaluation on Monday. Officially, there are no statistics for Russian losses. Meanwhile, the discussion about a NATO membership perspective for Ukraine continued ahead of the Military Alliance Summit in Vilnius, which began today. On the question of Sweden's admission, Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan surprisingly made his country's lack of approval dependent on a resumption of Turkey's accession talks to the EU. I will make a video on this NATO summit when it's over. The Ministry of Defense in Moscow last admitted the death of 5,937 of its own soldiers at the end of September 22. Even then, the figures were considered grossly understated. The figures now published by Meduza and other media are based on statistics and also on comparison with published obituaries. The number of casualties does not include those who are missing or seriously injured or fighters who fell in the ranks of the separatist militias of the Donetsk People's Republic and the Luhansk People's Republic, as they call them themselves, and who did not have Russian passports. On the other hand, the information from the Ukrainian military, which currently speaks of more than 230,000 Russian casualties, is considered an exaggeration. Kiev is largely silent on its own losses, as is Russia. In December last year, Mikhailo Podolyak, advisor to the Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky, spoke of 10,000 to 13,000 Ukrainian soldiers killed. This number is also considered to be a gross understatement. According to official figures, at least 4 civilians were killed and 11 others injured in a Russian bomb attack on the city of Orikhiv in southern Ukraine, which is close to the front now. The district was hit by a guided aerial bomb during the distribution of humanitarian aid that was said by the head of the military administration of the Zaporizhia region, Yuri Malashko. According to the United Nations on Friday, more than 9,000 Ukrainian civilians have died since the start of the Russian attack on all of Ukraine. The number of unreported cases is likely to be higher. According to the Ukrainian army, it's also regained control of important hills near Bakhmut in the Donetsk region from Russian troops. In Bakhmut, our defenders have been keeping the entrances, exits, and enemy movements in the city under fire control for several days. That was said by Deputy Defense Minister Hanna Malya. She wrote it on Telegram on Monday. The enemy is trapped, said the commander-in-chief of the land forces, Alexander Syrsky. The badly damaged city, which once had a population of more than 70,000, was captured by Russian units in May after months of fighting. And the Kremlin surprisingly confirmed reports of a meeting between Russian President Vladimir Putin and the head of the Wagner mercenary group, Yevgeny Prigozhin, after his revolt against the military leadership in June. Indeed, the president had such a meeting. He invited 35 people to it, all the commanders of units and the management of the company, including Prigozhin himself. That was said by Kremlin spokesman Dmitry Peskov, according to the Interfax news agency. Putin had previously described the Wagner insurgents as traitors, but also assured them of impunity. And if you want to have more information about the current evolution of the war, the next video is right here in the end screen. I'll see you there. I'll be back.